All right, yeah. So this is the look I'm watching on Beyond. You said it has all this crazy tight consolidation right here above 625 and between pretty much 720. Uh, for sure, one of the meme names to go along with the entire basket of things just kind of squeezing today with the high short interest plays. And although it popped a bit, I mean, you can see there's just how insanely beaten up this entire, chart is all the way back from IPO around 200, 220, 240. Jesus. Um, yeah. So just riding down its weekly nine. So by no means like is this a fundamental play or something that has to take off. It's just that if things are going to start ripping, which they have been, this is a name that has not even come close to really popping yet, in my opinion. And the volume coming in today is pretty legitimate. So above this 720, right to the 50-day at 760. Makes a lot of sense. I have an alert right there right now. So not so much concerned about catching that move, at, you know, 5 or 6%, which would be pretty much today's move, so nothing crazy. It's that move above that from at least, 760 up to like 9, yeah, which is another 17%. And then from there, just, 200 SMAs all the way up at 12. Um, and that's, 60%, which if you do it like, a couple weeks out, it's not crazy because a firm has run easily 60 plus percent. I mean, all these names have really, really ripped well more than, like at a week's clip of 25, 30, 35, coin, look at coin, 60, 70% too. So it's there. So if I do grab this before close, um, it's going to be something super small relatively. I'm going to grab like, $500 or $1,000 of like some 12s for like January. That even if it gets to like 9 or 8, whatever, they should be up easily over 100%. Those cons. So that's what I'm just looking at now. But if you're a small account, you don't have money to burn. I mean, by no means is this a high conviction, you know, legitimate, solid, fundamental play. It's just trying to see what's jumping out of me, what volume profile. I mean, look at the volume stepping up. It's not really getting driven down. This was driving down here. This is someone holding this line. So you can see it. Flow's nothing crazy just yet. I've been checking them back and forth. Some stuff trickling in, some 750s for January, some $8 calls for April. Yeah, nothing too nuts. Nothing like Unity had. That was that was an interesting sweep on Unity. Still haven't gotten back in just yet. Would love to see a little more strength before close, but the market just is it's just getting beat up too much right now for Unity to really battle back. I mean, Spy is just blowing through kind of every level here. Just sucks. Um, Full on UTAD move, and this is just a gross rising wedge setup on Spy. Same thing gonna be on QQQ. Yeah, if we just clear some of these lines, yeah, that's not a name. So it's tough. Something like that, right? I mean, it's yeah, patience. After a big couple weeks here in the market, just running stupidly hot, just chilling. Where's the daily nines on these? Yeah, I would look for that. Oof, yeah, Spy is a bit to drop for its 9 to catch up with it. So 453 though, definitely want to see that level hold. And by then, hopefully the daily 9 catches up with it around there. This is a high volume day. Not yet. Still got 40 minutes. It should be, yeah, nothing crazy actually. But let's see. Always tons of high volume at the very end before close, for those of you that know that. ARM, still just flagging out. So there was no urgency at ARM. Just looking at the volume profile, it's flagging on low volume, which is what you want to see, right? It had an incredible run up the last, week plus, all the way up to here. So I mean that's a crystal clear bullish pennant. And now you want to see volume kind of come in to pop through here, push back over 64, and you want to see this. Where's my arrows at? Yeah. This volume profile, right? You want to see that start curling up, which we see all the time. Like back here, right? So you had kind of a breakout, low volume dip, and then curled up, and then just start riding up and got volume like this. So it's not a terrible place to add here by any means on ARM, but I mean, if the market gaps down tomorrow, it can for sure come down and test this trend line one more time. So that's why it's not worth it just yet. You know, I'll be kicking myself like if it gaps up to like 66 tomorrow or something like that and miss that pop, sure. But like I said, made great gains over the last few days. I'm not going to risk, you know, a 2.25% down day, and just give back a lot of great gains from the last week plus. So that's kind of my position on anything right now. When the market's this weak, there's no need to really dive on in. You're not catching or timing, you know, the falling knife. It's not showing me anything that says I have to be in here. But again, the only thing I would go is like I said, these super lottery kind of names where you don't have to throw a ton of capital on these plays to get insane returns. And you know that was the case with me on on Unity, on Affirm, um, ARM, all these names. You know, I threw a couple grand into those for those returns. I wasn't going full size in any of those because you don't need to. Like I said, Tesla, when you play that, you usually got to have a little more size with it and be a little more quick in and out. So for these names, like I said, building up some small ports. Again, you can have a little bit of size and get some really nice returns. But Affirm, I do like this a lot. Still haven't touched any of my position with the 17 contracts I have for January for the 35 Cs, right? Because I mean, they're pretty much at the money, and I have five weeks left on those. So I'm just letting those chill. If I had a ton more contracts, I would trim more. But caught the 33 weeklies yesterday, and that basically paid for my full position of the Januaries. So no matter what, even if this thing went from it's like 175% up now, whatever it is, all the way back to zero, which I would never let happen. But just hypothetically, if like an offering came out after close or something and just knifed back down below 30, it would still be protected by playing those weekly 30s, 33 Cs yesterday. So that's why I do plays like that. It's kind of just buying some more insurance in a risky fashion, as paradoxical as that sounds. But let's see what else is kind of I mean, you see the whole meme basket popping. Hopefully you got out of GME. That's a high volume sell off. CrowdStrike's been strong all day. Said Beyond's right there. Lemonade. Peloton had an interesting one too. Very accumulative look on Peloton and that triple bottom right there, right? 1, 2, 3, triple bottom, broke the neckline, and now it's basing on the neckline. So Peloton should pop up to the 670 area within the next week. That's a nice 30% move. So if anybody's feeling, again, lottery to grab something small, Peloton's holding these highs, looks for some continuation. Lyft, man, I can't believe I didn't grab that for myself. Getting smacked right at that 1190 line. It's still fired off the weekly exit. Yeah, the exit short on the weekly. So if that's just a start, I mean, you had one back here and it flagged for a month before breaking out. So same thing, kind of like with Unity and Affirm. You could definitely grab Januaries for lift of some out the money cons like 14s or 13s, and not really be chasing yet, in my opinion, unless it gets smoked the next 2 days and somehow invalidates this on a really bad bleed off. But that's what you're risking. Or again, if it comes back in low volume flags. But yeah, every trading has risks. Carvana still holding that shoulder. Carvana, I want to see the weekly close above 34. Have the alert set for that. Upstart stuck at its 200. Riot. See, there's that weekly. Riot's still holding really nice. Popped the inverse head and shoulders last week. We're getting all sorts of EMAs crossing over here. You're getting the 50, the 200. I'm sorry, no, that's the 50. This is the 9. Forgot I emboldened it. So 921 weekly cross up, but also crossing through the 200. So I mean, yeah, Riot should go back to 15. There's no volume here to slice through. So I know, we joke about this name. Got our teeth kicked doing that a couple times on this chop back here. See, look how long it consolidated here before what? It fired off a weekly exit short. Same thing it did here. So, but could it be a head and shoulders? I mean, I certainly see that possibility, but the neckline is kind of really deeply retraced. And like I said, it's a clear inverse head and shoulders down here. What's the market doing? Still got its teeth kicked? Yeah. Yeah, it's a high volume exit long on the hourly for SPY. But had one back here too to start and then ended up riding it up. But we'll see if it can hold this uptrend. Yeah, beyond getting smacked a little bit. That's why you wait for close over that resistance. SoFi, same thing, right? Invalidating the daily exit long, exit short rather. So that got snuffed right off this resistance. So as excited as you get when the market's kind of ripping, just when it's overheated, you really, really want to wait for confirmation. Just like Unity before, right? Unity had that 15-minute long signal. Yeah, look at the daily on Unity now. Big high volume shooting star. Inverted cross. Go to the 15 and see. See why you wait. It was right at VWAP and it invalidated that 15-minute long. And that's what I said. That's just waiting. I didn't care if this popped, this validated up to 31. I wasn't trying to catch a move to 31. I'm trying to catch a move all up to like the mid 30s. So, Unity, if the whole market bleeds, I mean, is it at these highs right here? It's right there right now. So it kind of needs to hold that level. If not, it's going to come back down to 30. And if it loses 30, it's going to come back and test the top of this uptrend. Or, yeah, downtrend rather. So, Unity, when you have a great pop like this and you make a boatload, I mean, I know it's exciting. You want to just keep going back to the well, but we really got to fight those urges, and this is exactly why. You get these, especially when the market looks weak, right? If the market was ripping, one thing, but if the market's not supporting it, I mean, you're just fighting so many headwinds. IWM is going to print a disgusting daily candle. Also, high volume shooting star gravestone off its 200 SMA out of this demand supply zone, rather. Almost exactly right at the top. Yeah, pretty much the penny of this previous one. So, I would have loved to see it hold above this 179.50 level. So let's see how it closes the next 30 minutes. But either way, it's not worth really getting anything new. So holding these highs here. It's still below the gap. Couldn't fill that gap. But it is basing above this. So that is a silver lining. Tesla. This is why we closed those contracts at open when those were over 100%. Disgusting daily. UTAD look right up here. Going into the Cybertruck presentation tomorrow. Could easily be a sell the news event, and that's why I got rid of those cons, even when it was flagging. And now it's just firing off exit long signal after exit long signal. Invalidated this hourly long, and then couldn't fight off the exit short. I'm sorry, the exit long, and now that's following through, and it's just bleeding off on that. That's extended hours. If you go back to regular hours, same thing. Another, yep, right here. Exit long just validated a half hour ago, and now it really needs to hold these 242 highs, which Colin called out as possible support. But if it flushes that, then this is for sure distributive look, and this will be your UTAD. UTAD, up thrust after distribution, and then that's what knifes you right back down to the 230 level. So I would hold a, if I'm in puts up nice, I would hold a couple runners for that, down to the 230. I didn't grab the puts. Obviously, wish I did. It was a great call by Colin, as usual with Tesla. So if it flushes 242, I mean, it's worth it to capture that downside move with a couple runners, in my opinion. Yeah, a nice 4% move on Tesla's. It's pretty legit. Oh, there he is. Why don't you hit an air horn or something when you came in, dude? Oh, it's right there in the bottom of the screen. The little music notepad thing right there. You got a quack, an air horn. You get all the goodies, dude. Come on, man. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, every time you say the Cowboys are a good team, hit that one. uh, but yeah, so I mean, just how spies and just the kind of disgusting rising wedge, QQQ's disgusting rising wedge, super up thrusty looks. Uh, yeah, lost, fired, or just closed or validated an exit long. On the hourly, daily, I would look to for it to possibly, if it breaks down from here, to hopefully catch that daily 9 EMA. But if it doesn't get quite there, maybe come down here to the 453.50 level. This daily 9 gets a little bit closer, and then maybe the following day to end the week, we get a little wick off that, and we can start building a base before the move back up to these uh, yearly highs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we needed a day like this, right? The market was just ripping face like crazy for the last few weeks. It's just why we've been saying for the last 2 days now. You better be trimming out. You better be trimming out. You better be trimming out. I mean, it there's nothing worse where you have like an epic stretch like we did, and then you just don't size down, don't trim out, and you just give so much of it back. So, the only things I'm really interested in now, it just continues to be these kind of heavily shorted names. But IWM, printing a disgusting shooting star gravestone right off the 200 out of that supply zone too. Only silver lining is it's holding these highs from September. So if it can base above that and, maybe put a nice bounce tomorrow or push off that, it wouldn't be the end of the world because, again, not crazy high volume like you are mentioning. It's just, it was a ton of profit taking. Things were up a disgusting amount. But Unity's still flagging out, still looking good. Affirm still looking really good. It just keeps building like a bigger ascending triangle. Like I keep having to adjust these trend lines. Um, so I still like the look of that. If it ultimately bases above that. So guys, anybody new? Same thing like I said with the UTAD for Tesla is you want to watch a firm either the end of the day today or tomorrow. You want to make sure you don't get a candle like this where it pops up out of the ascending triangle, comes down for a retest, and if it just snipes right through, just I'm out. That will be my signal. I don't care if I have plenty of time on those. I'll probably grab. I'll just get out of those because it's most likely just going to start, distributing right down through there. What you do want to see is for it to bounce off that top of the ascending triangle. Is it to break out and then confirms that the previous resistance up there at 3450 is now support, and then pushes onward. And if that's the case, I'm obviously not just going to hold my calls. I'll add some more short-term calls. Uh, if it just continues to look good. But right now, flagging up here, or you're just consolidating on low volume after just a really, really disgusting run for the last, I mean, geez, how many days is this now? 2 monster days of volume, and the volume is still good today. So even with the whole market pulling back, this is still a really nice candle. It's still a nice spread. It's still way above average volume. The spreads are, this was increased spread. This isn't shrinking. This is a little bit shrinking, but the volume is still legit on a firm. And the weekly candle is going to be, you know, one of the best it's had. So I still think it has room up to the 39.40 level. Yeah, look at that weekly candle, volume bar rather. How much time left? 25 minutes. I, I wouldn't be surprised if we get, I mean, I hope not, but if we just get a knife sell off here into close to shake some more people out, I mean, you got to think like after things run like this, they want to get people out, right? If they really wanted to keep on running, they want to shake you out before they keep on marking up even more. So, yeah, I can't justify getting long on any of these big names right now. Yeah, validated the hourly exit long. I know what I just realized, Colin. Now I'm recording on my OBS. I don't have your input, so your audio is not going to be captured here. We got to figure out a way to get, since you work off that mic as an input on OBS, because that's how you capture me with the echo, is because you record the output of your speakers onto your mic. No, 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 no. For anyway, there's obviously people here listening now, so there's value in that. Just letting anybody know that if you're wondering when you tune in later why there's some blank spaces, that's why. It's Colin's mic is not getting picked up as a source right now. But uh, I'll work on that tonight, and we'll get that fixed. So going forward, anybody that misses these is not missing out on all valuable information. Yeah, Microsoft's looking like a head and shoulders on the 15-minute. If it loses that 377, I mean, everything is just so distributive on the big names at the very least. Oh, and there goes, yeah, IWM's really getting smacked now. hmm Yeah, I mean, now's the time where if you're looking at lottos for like, these squeeze plays and upsides, you should be looking at lotto type puts for these big names. Because I mean, just look at that chart. Look how, let me get rid of that. Look how overextended Microsoft is, like on this structure. Like it long, 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 long. Like I mean, it's just going. The risk to reward is by far grabbing short side plays on these big, Fab Five, Magnificent Seven names. Yeah, you're getting bearish divergence on the daily too. Yeah, RSI, new lows as Microsoft's put in higher highs. Yeah, and here comes the firm a little bit getting dragged down with everything. Do we have any economic data tomorrow? wonder if they'll use that as an excuse to. I wonder if they use any of those to shake out. I mean, I don't know how. Like I said, they're talking about rate cuts. So I mean, all these inflation prints shouldn't mean a damn at that point. I wonder if he got chewed out for that too, for pretty much leaking that they're thinking about. A Chicago PMI at 945. Home sales won't matter. Yeah, manufacturing PMI and global PMI on Friday. And PAL is when's PAL? Tomorrow or the next day? Friday. Yeah, right now my only position is the Affirm calls, and I guess that's for January. But just because you have time doesn't mean you have to ever hold anything in everyone. I mean, you never want to see some, stupid gains go back to zero just because you had time and got complacent with that. But again, just looking at the daily candle on Affirm, yeah, the last time Affirm had breakout volume like this, you could be back here, had a big week and then kind of sold off. Then you had downtrend, a huge breakout week, you got follow through here, big breakout here, follow through for a while. Deleted my right shoulder, but yeah, I mean everything on me is saying the firm still comes up to 40. I don't see what's back here. This, I mean, that's not resistance back there. You had a little supply at 37-ish on the weekly. I mean, just the weekly volume is just ridiculous, especially on, like I said, the shoulder break. What time we got? 17 minutes to close. Anybody have any chart requests that I'm going to take a peek at? Thoughts on you? Yep, I took a look at you. Avago and Snow. Yeah, sure thing. Coin Avago, Snow. So coin, yeah, high volume shooting star off that, 130-ish level. The hourly, is it still catching the hourly or is it losing it? So it's just starting to lose its hourly 9, but let's see if it gets bought back up into close. I mean, anything in 125, yeah, it could be formed of a rounding top up here. Yeah, ideally, coin comes back down, bounces off 125.50-ish, and starts flagging and building out for the kind of rest of the week, and then look at some more long side calls. But if you have it now, yeah, I would really. Depends how much time you have, honestly. If you're in like January or something a little more far dated, I would wait personally for like, the 125 level to be tested. Because look at this volume, right? This volume isn't crazy. Um, this volume here was. Mhm. You grab puts on it. I mean, yeah, so look at this kind of demand zone you have here within this. So someone keeps buying it up right there. That's why I don't like using just straight lines for demand. I'll do them for kind of support, but demand you want to go off like wicks, right? So spread that out. So see these wicks buying it up here, buying it up here, buying it up here. So there's still buyers present right there. So until it kind of flushes that and again through 125, I would just be cautious, especially anything you grab, or swing crypto wise. You never know what's going to happen after hours because so much of crypto happens kind of after hours. So, um, yeah, just be okay. Yeah, I mean you can't be upset with any kind of profits. Yeah, it just keeps finding support here in this demand of catching wicks. But yeah, let's see how it closes. Just nothing yet volume wise is really bad. A Vago and then Snow guys because we're getting down to the wire here. So Vago's actually trying to fight off an hourly exit long rather. Interesting. That chart though, I mean, daily exit long. What's that? Dude, it's just been stuck in that purgatory between like 122 and 124 for like a minute. But Avago's rejecting right off its daily 9. It's sliced through it on high volume back here. Daily exit long came up and now, yeah. So if it loses 938, 933, Avago can definitely be a rounding top. Come back down to this demand level here. Now 924. That's what you really want to see hold on Avago. All that previous resistance, you want to see that become support, and that has not been tested yet. So Avago looks like it wants to come down to 923-ish. And then Snow, because earnings today, Cloud Play, consolidating above this 172 level we drew out in VC. Implied move for Snow earnings. What was it, like 7%, 8% or something like that? I knew it was that was the undersized one compared to Okta, right? Snow, 7.75% on Snow. So a 1360 move. Dude, these big tech names, like I said, they're so worth looking to play downside on because either the market's going to pull back entirely with the indexes and the indexes are going to drag it, or at best the market keeps moving up, but people rotate out of these names and just leave those behind. Someone broke it down on CNBC pretty well. I mean, with the whole buy now, pay later, it's like banks are getting kind of their teeth kicked in with credit card debt and interest rates just being like over like 20, 23% APR, whatever it is on your credit card. Their firm doesn't charge that. So anybody who has like their credit card kind of maxed out or closed out or whatever the case is like, cool, I'm just going to use a firm now. And could that be a bubble in the long term? Sure. But people need to buy stuff. And they clearly did on Black Friday and Cyber Monday and why it's popping like this. 39. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I wanted those, said the January contracts, because you just want to you don't want to miss these moves. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, even Unity, like I said, if IWM didn't look like such dog shit, Unity's just flagging up here after a big day too. Um, yeah, take a look at Unity. Let me know what you think right now. It's just the daily candle is it's trying to fight off and get like a long legged. Hmm. Yeah, what was it? Was it a firm? Was it a firm yesterday where we watched the EMA catch up? I mean, I'm getting deja vu with all these names, so it's usually usually go for it. So when was that? Was it? Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It was Monday on regular hours here. That's all it did was just wait for the yep. Okay, yep. That you're exactly right. That J hook to the nine, and then just rode the nine all the way up. So that's really the vibes I'm getting from Unity right now. It's just the difference is the overall market looked much better when a firm was when sorry yeah when the firm was doing that as opposed to now IWM and indices look like shit. So it's a lot more dicey to get back into Unity here. Thoughts on Baba? Yeah, let me take a peek at Baba. Which again, I've said this many times. I mean, I don't trust these China names any more than I can throw them. I really don't. Like, because what happened like 2 weeks ago? Jack Ma, their CEO and founder, said, "I'm selling out my entire stake," and then the next day he was like, "Psych," and it ripped. So I don't trust anything when it comes to these tickers whatsoever. It's just not worth it. It's like look at the spreads on these candles. Look how erratic it is. I mean, there's so many other names that we play in here that do great. That why would you just take on any more unnecessary risk? This is not a chart that's yeah, I'm still here. Can you not hear me or can you not see me? Can everybody else hear me? Okay. Uh, yeah, we can hear you. Let me text you, Colin. I just text you, dude, but you can't hear me, so I don't know why I'm saying that. All right. Yeah, Cleveland Cliffs. I mean, we spoke about Cleveland Cliffs before. Like I said, has another really erratic chart. There's talks about academic. Yeah, let's talk about acquisitions with Cleveland Cliffs. I mean, it's an erratic chart too. Um, Definitely kind of flagging up here, so I can see it. But I mean, it does get lots of call options activity. I know that. So yeah, could Cleveland Cliffs be a pennant up here? Yeah, for sure. Um, but above its 200 SMA, the daily 9, 5 minute warning. But it has lots of upper resistance and supply. So yeah, I mean personally, I don't play Cleveland Cliffs, but do you if you like the commodity sector? I would wait personally for a 1760, 18 base on Cleveland Cliffs, but even then you're looking at resistance here, 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 here. I mean it's too wonky of a chart for me. So I'll leave it at that. Affirm doing enough to hold. Especially this candle here was huge with me for Affirm. They tried selling it off, breaking up trend, and it got bought right up. So either this is just a massive fake out, the distribution, but I like that. Let me see if there's any options activity coming in here at the end of the day, guys. Beyond, nothing new. Yeah, Beyond back sub 7. Coin. Coin options activity is still wacky. I mean, Coin is just seeing just Tesla style options activity when IV is this high. So Coin I don't think is done. Affirm. Ooh. What is this? 47.50s for February on Affirm? Say what? Come on, whales. Don't freeze up me now. Yes, sir. You got me? Good. A bunch of firm 35 puts being sold for this Friday. That is bullish. For anybody that doesn't know, selling puts is bullish. They believe, it's going to go above that and hold above that. Yeah, firm more of these 47.50s being bought for February. So remember, firm had a ton of short interest too, guys. That's why I love to play in the first place. The float was like 20% short. Yeah, firm's still getting some interesting activity here. Unity, let me see if they closed out any of these 31 calls that came in earlier for January. No, those are all still open. So if you're in Unity, I mean, I wouldn't be panicking if you bought earlier when I alerted those, especially if you bought time on those. That was a very unusual sweep. I kind of want to have a little bit of exposure on Unity. Going into close, what time is it? 3:57. I might grab another starter on a position in Unity right now. Ooh, Affirm getting even more into close for this 35 calls for this Friday. Salesforce. Yeah, that Unity hourly, Colin, is definitely looking like just a catch up above the highs of the breakout. But anytime I see the 200 just that close above a flag, it's just a magnet. Like I think it wants it's micro more Unity right now. Starter size. All right, I'm grabbing Unity 33 calls for December 15th. All right, in with that. I grabbed 20 cons, guys. There's light size. For me, I don't know what your port is, obviously, but yeah, holding these highs. If it comes down a little bit, wicks off the hourly 9 tomorrow morning and holds this, room to average down. But while the whole market bleeds out and getting its teeth kicked in for Unity kind of be holding put right now, says a lot. And again, that call sweep was really, really attention grabbing. I'm not going to have time to alert these and type these out in the Discord chat right now. So whoever's in here, like I said, yeah. Unity 33Cs for December 15th at 5.4 fill. Yeah, 5.4 fill. And closed. Yeah, unless there's some crazy news off like that. And again, if there is crazy news, I alerted that sweep an hour ago, everybody. But yeah. All right. The day is closed. Sorry, I'm just type these unities out, Colin. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me just go back. Is that a yeah, that was a emphatic Dikembe Mutombo smack off of that. Yeah, now that I think about it, it is just forming again, just kind of like a firm. It's just kind of redrawing ascending triangle trend lines. Yeah, yeah. Especially if data comes in tomorrow and they want to use that as an excuse to drop it. Uh, Everyone should have chances at entries on, whatever else, and which is you should be happy about that. When the market runs this hot and it gives you a pullback, I mean that's a good thing, guys. That's exactly again why you take profits, trim out, and size down. Like I said, I took that loss on coin today, but I was sized way down on that one, just because, like I said, things were running hot and the market looked kind of crappy. Um, but sometimes you get outliers that move against the market, and it's worth it. So to me, it was kind of worth that shot. Didn't play out. It just it is what it is on that one. Uh, but so let's go through. Go. Mm-hmm. Ooh. Yeah, that validated a daily exit short. And the last two of those that played out, Friday, October 20th, you got a little bump into earnings and then the big sell off. But without earnings, September 20th. And then look at the gap down on that one the following day. And yeah, clearly in supply zone up there. It does have the 50-day right at 134.68, and that's what it caught off the last daily exit long on October 23rd. It bounced off that 50-day before, again, ultimately selling off after earnings. But yeah, that's a good eye. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm going to start scanning right now is what any signals on dailies. So Apple, same thing, validated a daily exit long. It's still sitting on its daily 9 at that 189 level, but yeah, Apple hasn't printed one of those or validated one of those since, oh boy, again, another earnings one, August 2nd. So the market could for sure be topped out here. Mm-hmm. What else? Chipotle daily exit long. It's never good when Chipotle gets taken down. It's like, what's that? Um, yeah, I did. It's still in this big pennant too. So ARM, just like Affirm and Unity, it still looks good. I mean, I think it's still just getting these EMAs, letting them all catch up. after some big breakouts. Like I said, here's the arrow I drew. So arm, big bullish pennant, just flagging on low volume, which is what you want to see, and eventually you want it over that 64 level. Uh, but again, yeah, this is exactly what I said. It can come down here and it could test this lower trend line around 61, and which would also be its hourly 50. So yeah, I was in no rush to really jump into ARM just yet. And especially again with the low volume, there was no curl up, so I do want to see the ARM volume curl where you go like this and just kind of come down, and then you start seeing the big breakout volume coming up, and then curving with it, and then you get that break kind of up here towards that 69 level we've been looking for. Chipotle is one of those names like Booking.com that gets crazy wild flow because it's such an expensive name. Uh, look how overextended Chipotle is. Jesus. After earnings, that has just run a stupid amount. What is? Snow. And what did we say the implied move was on Snow? Come on, who's paying attention? It was like no, it was 8%. It was like 7. It was like 7.8. So it has to keep moving wherever it's going uh, to really be worth it. But so I'm just gonna keep doing this scan because it's recorded here, just so anybody can see these signals. Bum, bum, bum. A lot of crypto names just flagging. Ethereum flagging, Classic. So crypto could still have some juice left in the tank. Hood did validate a daily exit short. Lift, I like where Lift is holding above this breakout. Still like that. Did not get into Lift yet. I would want to see it base above this kind of $12 level. But it's still looking good. Unless Lift loses like 1130, I think Lift still has more room to go up to that 1250-ish and ultimately 1280-ish level. Meta lost its daily 9. Ooh, Micron. Micron invalidated a daily long, and the last time that happened was back here in September, and then sold off real hard after that. So I would keep an eye on Micron. That should at least come down to 74, 80, 75. Test these highs. If it can't hold those, Micron should knife right back down to 72. Yeah, have an alert on Micron there. Once per bar. Not yet. That's coming up right shortly on the alphabetical scan. NVIDIA. NVIDIA's still struggling at 485. I keep saying that's the level I want. Right? It's this kind of volume imbalance between 487 and 480, 450. Above that, that's where I said I can get explosive, and you can see it keeps hitting supply up there. So, NVIDIA above that, if the market does recover. But it's stuck. It's riding right now. It's riding its daily 9 to the downside. So that's where you keep seeing it hitting resistance. Ooh, Okta. Okay. So Okta had earnings today. Sold off a lot, and just like Apple, it got bought right back up on high volume and invalidated a daily short. So Okta, if it keeps putting a base in down here, Okta's a watch up to the 74 level, 75 and change rather. I'm gonna put an alert up there at Okta for. Let's do it up there around 72. Palantir, nasty shooting star in the daily, getting smoked. Peloton, I think that one can keep on squeezing. Basing above this resistance here. Peloton can move to 668. PayPal failed to break above that 59 resistance. Nasty high volume sell off on PayPal. Yeah. Is it above 8%? I wonder if it's bringing Amazon with it. Yeah, that's the Amazon Web Services. I mean, they always move in tandem. Yeah, there's snow. Look where it's going, right to that. It's trying to get to that 193 level. 796. Hourly long. What did I say? It was 205? Yeah, 205 was the lotto level for snow if it got above that 193. So get above 193. Yeah, right inside that implied move. What else we got on the scan here? SoFi, that sucked, man. SoFi invalidated the daily exit short, stuck below its 50-day, right back to its 200. Square, nasty gravestone candle on the daily. Tesla. Yeah, all eyes tomorrow if it's still the news. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, you're goaded on that, dude. That's why I said when I had those calls this morning and they were up 100% at that like 251 level and was just there, I was like, I don't even care. I'm out. I've played this game with you before. I am a-okay not being greedy on Tesla before a big event. So, hmm. Know what it's reminded me of? It's reminded me of Google back in the summer. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Same one. Yeah, that's pretty almost cookie cutter with Google too, where we were just waiting for that breakout, and once it went, so yeah, that's why I have. You see on the daily the volume and balance from that like 485 to 486. So once it kind of gets above that volume and balance, that's what I'm waiting. That's what I'm waiting for. If it's based above that supply, I think it's just gonna go right back to like 505 or blue sky, blue skies for that matter too. Yeah. Hmm. Let me draw that out because your screen's not gonna be recorded here. So anybody? Oh, perfect. Good. Awesome. All right. Good. Got that. Yeah. I'm gonna draw that out too. Following on that one, that's an awesome catch. And it's just yeah, it's doing what Tesla did, right? Where it's just bumping up against this 50. Sorry, no, it's daily 9. It's it's riding it down, but it's also applying some pressure on it. So yeah, I have a trendline alert set for 487, which would also on the daily become that's a clear SNR flip off the bottom of the daily November 22nd and daily November 16th. So you get that SNR flip on that. Yeah, is that a key fib on the retrace from the top of the highs down to the low yesterday? Yeah, it's a 382. So 382. Could it be forming kind of like an inverse cup and handles? Because that's like, that 382 level is right with like, your cup and handle retrace, right? You want that 30 to 40% kind of retrace on a cup and handle. So could be rounding off, cup and handle off that, and find more downside on this lower trend line you have drawn out in the wedge. So yeah, that's why you wait for that validation, everyone. But also why you draw trend lines, alert lines too, because if it does get above that finally, that's it's going to let you know which theses can play out, which way you can go with these things. But that's a great catch, dude, with that pennant going. 236 is right at 482. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, easily, yeah. You get to start $30 days, right? That's like trade. That's what Nvidia is like known for at this point. Is just these wild bars. What do you have for like the fib retrace too from the lows of? I mean, is that you have that as one move, like October 31st up to the top? And if you do like a trend-based fib extension on that, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. What do you got? Let me see your screen. The 501 is your 236, or 502 is your 236, more or less. Yeah, cool. So anybody watching this, or you'll watch it later on, that's how you kind of get your impossible implied moves on these guys. Yeah. Hmm. I like it, dude. How's I was gonna say like that's I'm checking Amazon now. If Amazon's getting any kind of juice off snow, um, got a little kind of dip back down. So snow's trying. Do we have any more big earnings tomorrow or the next day that can also kind of carry us? We'll give us a little pop. Calendar view. What do we got? So, oh, Okta's right now. Okta wasn't. And what's Salesforce? What's Salesforce doing? Ooh, there you go. Huge pop for Salesforce. These are some big names too in the tech sector. Yeah, that's huge. So Okta was. Has Okta reported yet? I don't think Okta's released their numbers yet. Or was it this morning? All right, so Okta was this morning. Sorry, that's a calendar view showing that. Sure about the list view. All right, so Okta did report. Got that. All right, so Salesforce and Snowflake, huge beats in after hours. What was Salesforce's implied move? 4.6. That would have been a good play, but Salesforce's contracts are not cheap. Um, but if you did play them, you got a nice beat on those. You have Marvell tomorrow. That could affect semis. What else we got in this calendar view? TD Bank tomorrow. Marvell, Ulta, Dell. Path is, I know I've seen a couple of people mentioning that on Twitter for their earnings. That's tomorrow, but that's not a market mover. Yeah, these biggest ones were Snowflake and Okta, and both of them beating has to help the market a little bit, and especially tech. Yeah, and then rightfully said, SPY and QQQ both up after hours, rightfully so. Can they build off that is a different story, but yeah, either way. Opinions on you? YOU? The hell is YOU? Clear, secure. Oh, is this that like stupid security thing you fill out to get in the Yankee Stadium faster? I mean, yeah, so I mean it had this is another one of those peg moves, guys. Post earnings gap that he's talking about, right? So it gapped up after earnings, sold off, found a base above previous resistance, and then let the daily 9 catch up, and now it rode, cradled on the daily 9, and then finally today popped off it. I don't know if we got any news or what to justify it, but yeah, these are the plays we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks now, are these peg plays, post earnings gap. So yeah, if Clear can kind of base above 2094 here and flag off this tomorrow, you could have a nice run to at least the 200 SMA around 23. But I mean, EMA catch up, guys. Like I said, when you have big moves, patience, patience, patience. That's what we've been seeing. Like I said, that's how we caught a firm. Unity, hopefully, that's why I played today. Grab some more contracts to close. Let's just see if it's an EMA catch up. But all right. Colin, are you speaking, dude? Do I hear anything from you? Oh, okay. I see like your name lighting up, but I guess you're just picking up my audio. So for a second, I want to make sure I didn't miss you there. Cool. All right. All right. I'm gonna end the recording there, guys. Covered pretty much every name on my watch list and then some. So hopefully there's plenty there to digest. Like I said, a lot of action today to the downside, corrective, pulling back. So let's kind of see how tomorrow shakes out. But yeah, pre-market should be pretty exciting with all the data coming out, and then again Chicago PMI right after close, which we'll mention with the tomorrow morning hellos, just to keep an eye on those and see how the market could react. But yeah, let me wrap up this recording right here.